All right, let's see. I'm trying to put myself here in the screen. Is Cutler. Hang on. And there's Cutler. Technology is good when it works, right? Technology is good when it works, and it just wasn't working right then. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? It is the end of June. Can you all believe it? It is the end of June. I got a few things I need to catch you all up on, and I got to tell you all this. I'm going to be using this cup for quite a while. Quite a while. I'm going to be using this cup. When you all come into these sessions, just get your cup, your tea, your favorite beverage, whatever it is, come on, because this is all about inspiration. It's about motivation. It's about spending time together to see how we can show up a little bit better tomorrow than we did today. I promise you, it does not mean that we're going to look at today with gloom and doom. It doesn't mean that we're going to look at today as a failure. It doesn't mean that we're going to look at today and say it was a flop. No, it means we're going to look at today. See, what nuggets can we learn that would catapult us into a place and a space that's called better tomorrow? There's enough bad news on all these other channels, on all these other stations. And I'm not suggesting that all of the other stations or channels are bad, but I'm just saying there's enough negative information out there. There's enough bad news out there. There's enough doom and gloom out there. We just need to take about 1,800 seconds. So if this is your first time and you wonder, what is that guy talking about? What is this channel about? The channel is about inspiration. It's about motivation. It is about challenging us to show up a little bit better tomorrow than we did today. We are a community of winners, and we're going to a place that's called better. And when we get there, our goal is to look to the left and look to the right and make sure that we show up with somebody else. I want to show up better and responsible and accountable for helping somebody else to get there. That is the mantra of my life. And I think it's yours too. At least you share that, because that's why we're all here. But what I want to do is invite you. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so. Just subscribe to the channel. And once you do, just click on the notification button so it lets you know when I've gone live and uploaded new content, right? Got to say all that stuff. And as you come into the chat room, please do a thumbs up on the conversation, because it encourages my heart. It lets me know that you sort of like the things that we talk about. And it says to YouTube, that's some good stuff that guy's talking about. All right, I want to shout out the LTTC VIPs for just a moment. Those who just jumped into the chat first. Some of y'all actually beat me into the chat because I was having technical issues. Invite people to come into the chat, because tonight, you all, we're going to talk about the difference between character and reputation. We're going to talk about character and reputation, because so many times, we think that our reputation is on the line when it's not really our reputation, but it's our character. And we're going to talk about the difference, and we're going to talk about why that's important. We're going to talk about what that means in terms of showing up better tomorrow than we did today. I trust that I've shown up better today than I did yesterday. All right. So let me shout out the LTTC VIPs for just a moment, because I only have 1,800 seconds. So I want to shout out. Let's see who jumped into the chat first. It looks like it was T Cutler, who says, "Happy Thursday. Let's talk to Cutler family." Well, T Cutler, happy Thursday to you as well. Happy Thursday to you as well. And then it looks like right after you, looks like Annie Cutler jumped in. The Cutlers really just jumped in today. Who jumped in and said, "Let's ride." That's right. We are all riding down this highway of life, and we're looking at the signs, and we're trying to see, let me pay attention and see how I can show up better, and how I can take somebody along with me for the ride. Now, if you missed our last topic, our last conversation, it was a tribute to the nonagenarians and the centenarians, those in their 90s and 100s, because we celebrated Paula D's mother's 100th birthday. Paula D is a faithful follower of this channel, and her mother just recently turned 100. They had a celebration. I couldn't make it, but I decided that we would just share this time and space. So it was a quasi birthday party for Miss Evelyn, but it was also a chance for us to pay homage to those in our lives whose shoulders we stand on, and whose lives taught us so many things. Let's see who came in third, who rounded out third in terms of these VIPs for tonight. Fabulous Me, who says, "Hey y'all, hey my friend, how have you been? It's good to see you. We are definitely here for the ride." So let's take off. Let's take off with the ride. And again, I just happen to mention this. I got to mention this because I love this mug. I love this mug because it is a duplicate of my last book. You all remember my last book. If you're interested, somebody said, you're not pushing your books anymore. Really, you all, this is not a channel for me to push my books. This is a channel for us to get together and sometimes read what's in the book. God bless you if you go out there and get them. Thank you so much. They're over on Amazon.com. But I'm more concerned with us learning and sharing this time and space together. I want us to talk about character and reputation. Because so many times, again, so many times we're focusing on reputation when it's really our character that is important. I've looked at things that have been happening in the news lately, and I was just going to ask you all, what's on your mind? What do you think about what's going on? I mean, one of the big issues that's in the news today is this whole notion of what is happening at the U.S. Supreme Court level with the landmark case of Roe versus Wade. I'd love for us to have a conversation about that. But one of the things that I saw that came out of that, because I know we have different views and differing views, and we have degrees of how we differ, and that's fine. This channel is about really having differences of opinions, but being able to respect other opinions, right? So we can do that. But one of the things that I saw come out, one of the things that was on display was people's character. And sometimes I have been appalled and just shocked by the things that people display. Now, perhaps people are sometimes shocked by the things that I display, but let's talk about which do you all think is more important? Let me just throw that question out there. Which do you think is more important, character or reputation? Your character or your reputation? I'll just leave that for just a moment, and you all tell me, which one do you think is more important? Do you think your character is more important, or do you think your reputation is more important? And I'll make a distinction between the two in just a moment. But what I find interesting, you all, is that people are really preoccupied. Thank you. I see you all and I'm going to do a poll. So you all just tell me which one you think is more important, character or reputation. One of the things that I've discovered is that people are really preoccupied with image and imagery and how they look. Building a reputation for the most part, I like what I'm saying. Building your reputation for the most part is largely about popularity, you all. Sometimes building your reputation is really a popularity contest, it's popularity poll. But building character requires us to focus on our purpose. What is my purpose in life? What are my values? That's what character is. Reputation is image. Character is about purpose and values. And sometimes people can talk a good game, they can have decent intentions, but character is not built based on what you intend to do. Let me say that again. Character is not built based on what you intend to do. Because we've probably heard, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. I'm sure we've heard that. I hope that doesn't get me flagged by anybody. But your reputation is what people think of you. So here's the difference. Your reputation is what people think of you, but your character is who you actually are. We spend so much time, maybe not us, but we spend so much time, a whole lot of time, building our reputation so that people like us or so that people speak highly of us. And the truth of the matter is that how much people like us, how much people speak highly of us, and how much they speak highly of you, guess what, you all? It is going to change. It can change like the wind. Why would you say that, Cutler? Especially when your usefulness has run its course. When people can't get anything else out of you, guess what? Your reputation, how much they think of you, how much they like you, all of that's going to change. It's true. How many of you know that I'm really telling the truth? How much people like you, how highly they speak of you, it can change like the wind when you have no more usefulness to them. When they've gotten everything out of you, when you offer no more utility to them, no more satisfaction to them, when people can't get anything else out of you, then they don't like you as much as they once liked you. But your character is built in the secrecy of who you are when no one is looking. That's character. when ain't nobody looking, when nobody sees you but you and God. Your character is built in the secrecy of who you are. Your character. Character is about doing the right thing. Even when doing the right thing is sometimes not popular. Oh, it's so good to see some of you all. So let me just pause here and just put the poll results up. Because I ask, which one do you think is more important, reputation or character? And you all know I'm on a roll, so you can probably think, wow, when Cutler is that emotional, there's something that is taking place. Really, much of what I offer, excuse me, much of what I offer comes from the moments that I've had in my life. I've sometimes looked at people and said, wow, that's it. It is a saying now. You all help me out. Oh, so that's what we're doing? That is the saying that I've heard young people and not so young people say that, oh, so that's what we're doing? That means so that's what your character is like? And that's not so much your reputation, but oh, so that's what we're doing these days? That means people have gotten a little insight into our character. All right. So then I asked, which one did you all think was more important, reputation or character? Let's put the results up. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. And it looks like, let's see. Paula D says character. Fabulous Me says reputation will follow your character. So character for the win. Sonia Bailey says character. MV, character. It looks like character is winning, you all. Linda Martin, character. T. Cutler says, character for me. All right. Annie Cutler, character. I love you, Annie Cutler. All right. Carol Hampton, my auntie, says character. Good to see you, auntie. All right. Let's see. So you all, it looks like character wins because we understand that character is who we are. Reputation, a lot of times, is what you do and how popular you seek to become. But it is about the secrecy of who you are when nobody is looking. And one of the last things I said is that your character is doing the right thing, even when it's sometimes not popular to do the right thing. Character is doing right by others. Get this, you all. Even though it might mean a loss or a sacrifice on your part, how much I gain out of this is not so important, is not as much important as doing the right thing by other people. Because character then does not focus on me and my and I and myself, but character focuses on doing the right thing by everybody. So if I don't get as big a piece of the pie, at least I'm going to do the right thing. Character is about correcting the wrong that was inflicted on others when you have the wherewithal to do so. How about this? A lot of times we can level the playing field. A lot of times we can level the wrong that people have been dealt, the hands that they have been dealt. We may have the wherewithal to do it, the time, the energy, the resources. Character is about correcting the wrong. I see that you were done wrong, but guess what? I can help make it right. That's character. I know that I might not stand to win as much, but I'm going to do right by you. That's character. Oh, Cutler is holding on to this chair. That's character, you all. Reputations are popularity polls. I've said that. Y'all know I only have 1,800 seconds, so I got to keep going. But reputations are popularity polls that come and go, but character will hold you and it will anchor you and will ground you through the storms and the pressures of life. My character shows up. My feet are firmly planted, and when the winds are blowing, and sometimes it looks like I'm about to break, but I'm just bending, character anchors me and holds me through the storms and the pressures of life because who I am is always going to show up. It doesn't matter whether I hurt, bend, or break. Character, thank you, T. Cutler, character remains. Character remains. And I said before, a lot of times we focus on what people say and what they intend to do, but may I tell you that reputation is based on what you do. Character is based on who you are. I want us to focus on character. And if the vicissitudes of life do nothing else, if the changing winds of life do nothing else, they will reveal your character. Cutler, why would you say that? Because I've lived long enough to see the things that will reveal people's lives, that will reveal their characters. Let a couple go through a divorce and you see character show up. Because either they're going to do it amicably, where they agree, where they get along, where they're still civil, and they say we just have irreconcilable differences. Or it's going to be very accusatory. It's going to be very acrimonious. It's going to be just very bad, and it's just going to be horrible and egregious. It's going to be all of that. Let a couple go through a divorce, and you'll see character show up. May I tell you a few other times when you see character show up? Let a family member die. Character shows up. They get to fight over everything. Mama told me I get the house. Daddy told me I get the car. Let somebody die. And then what I stand to get and how I handle that, character is going to show up. It shows up. Auntie, my good friend, it's always good to see you. I love you. Auntie's Advice Channel for Women. You're here. Auntie, it's always good to see you. We're talking about character versus reputation, Auntie. And I said there some of the winds of life will, if they do nothing else, they will reveal your character. I said, let a couple suffer divorce. Let a family member die. Let a business relationship crumble. These things will reveal somebody's character. These things will reveal who you are in secrecy, because who you are in secrecy will rise to the surface when there's a divorce, when somebody dies, and when a business relationship crumbles. And we try to hold on to it. And we don't want people to see who we are, but who you are will show in the darkness of night when life happens. So the challenge with a lot of people is that they spend so much time building their reputation. And when life happens, guess what, you all? They wrestle with things like, do I now focus on me and mine? Do I now try to demonstrate my positional power? Do I now work on saving face in the eyes of a select few? When life happens, once you've spent so much time with your reputation and not your character, your focus is off. When life happens, you start thinking, all right, so what can I get? What do I stand to win? This is about me, my, and myself, me, myself, and I. Or it's about, how can I demonstrate the power that I have, the authority that I have in this situation? Or it's about, I want to protect my reputation in the eyes of a select few. That's what happens when life happens and you focus on building your reputation instead of developing your character. You have to understand character is developed. It is developed over time. It is developed through the steps of life, the ins and the outs and the roundabouts, the ups and the downs, the hard times, the bad times. All of those things shape and help develop my character. Because when you focus on building character, you don't have to worry about your ethic or your integrity being on display. You'll do the right thing because it's right to do right. You'll do the right thing because it's right to do right. And one of the reasons many of us sometimes have a falling out with people is because they've shown us their character. Oh, that's how you do that? That's how you respond? That's who you are? And when people show you who they are, thank you, Dr. Maya Angelou. When people show you who they are, believe them. Many times, we have separation issues with people because they reveal their character. And guess what? Your character does not fit the life that I'm building for myself. Your character, I've often said it, your character is not a brick that sits well on my foundation. Your character does not help build the space that I'm trying to create. Thank you, Auntie. They say, oh, yeah, so that's how you roll? Right. But we ought to roll in such a way that I don't mind you seeing the person that I am in the dark. We ought to roll in such a way that whether I'm happy or sad or miserable, mad or angry, I'm still the same person. So then, Cutler, how do we assess? Can you help us in terms of assessing our character? Absolutely. That's one of the reasons I decided to show up this evening. How do we assess our character? There are some questions that we could ask us. One, do you let your emotions get in the way of your decisions? I don't know the right or the wrong answers to these questions, but these are questions that you can ask yourself in terms of assessing your character. Do you let your emotions get in the way of your decisions, or do you have a moral barometer that says right is right regardless of whether I'm happy or sad or angry or mad? Ask yourself. Ask yourself, perhaps, would people describe me as compassionate and empathetic? Do I seek to identify with other people during their moments of anxiety, their moments of hardship, their moments of stress? Or am I more me driven and me centric and me focused? What's in it for me? Am I more compassionate and empathetic about what they're going through? Or am I me centric, me focused, and me driven? Another question. When you're faced with a problem, do you focus on the cause of the problem or do you focus on solving the problem? I don't know the best way to answer that, but I will say this. If you focus on the cause of the problem, you have to ask yourself, am I focusing on the cause of the problem for the sake of developing a measure to avoid this in the future? If so, that's a good thing. Or am I focusing on the cause of the problem for the sake of finding fault and trying to determine who's wrong? Because it is that positional power, and I want to show you who's wrong. We have to ask ourselves these questions. This is how we assess our character. You want to know how to assess your character and focus on your character versus your reputation? Ask yourself these questions. I'm chuckling because you all are right. You're putting it right in there. That's right, Auntie. One of the questions that people ask, oh, so that's how you roll? Because when you show me how you roll, that's going to show me your character. I mean, it's true, Tracy. You see it. Your character is a brick that does not fit well on my foundation. I just got to tell you all know I'm really big into creating a safe space for me. I'm really big into creating a space of peace for me. I'm really big on creating a space where I thrive, not just survive, but where I thrive. And many of us have worked for weeks and months and sometimes years to build a safe haven where we can grow and where we can thrive. And I dare not allow anybody to put something that is going to cause the walls of what I built to come crumbling down. Telling you. That's right, Mom. You got to sometimes tell people your brick doesn't fit my foundation. It just doesn't fit. Doesn't mean that you're a bad person, but you don't have a piece of the puzzle that fits what I'm putting together. You don't have an easel or a paint or a paintbrush or anything that completes the picture that I'm trying to draw in my life. You're not a bad person. You just don't fit my life. You show me who you are. It's not aligned with the purpose. It's not aligned with my destiny. You're not necessarily a bad person, but you might be bad for me. To tell you all. You're right. A lot of times when it comes to problems, a lot of times, Tracy, we get hung up on the cause. Don't let people tear down your character. So let's go back every now and then. You all know I tell you this channel is about inspiration. It is about motivation, but sometimes it is about challenging ourselves to show up better. What good are we if we don't challenge ourselves sometimes to show up better? The status quo is not good enough, because if I want to show up better tomorrow than I did today, it means sometimes I've got to challenge myself. And I'm so thankful that we can share this space and collectively challenge ourselves. I want to show up better. So we ask ourselves these questions. I need to put my character on test. Sometimes, thank you so much, Fabulous Me. She says, what I needed to hear, on point again today. Thank you, my friend. Another question that we may need to ask ourselves is, when making a decision, do I focus on the details or do I focus on the end result? What are you saying, Cutler? Do you start with the end in mind? Right. Auntie says, that's why, like the Bible says, yes, that's why. Don't bring the Bible in, because I just go off. That's why, like the Bible says, let peace be my umpire. One strike and you're OUT. I'm telling you, some of us, Auntie, and some of us have worked hard. Some of us have worked years to build a space of peace, a space of consistent safety. Work to build it. I mean, we put in, honestly, listen here, we've put in blood, sweat, and tears. So I need to let peace abide. All right? Cutler, what are some other questions that you would suggest that we ask ourselves? Yeah, Auntie says just one strike. Tracy, she said it. Only one strike. Because many times in that strike, you've shown me who you are. All right? So then, here's another question you have to ask yourself. Am I comfortable with changing plans? Why would you pose that question, Cutler? Because if you're operating in integrity, many times it causes me to change my plans. Because what I realize is that I may be on a track to do one thing, but if I'm operating in integrity, right might demand that I change my plans. Purpose might demand that I change my plans. So we've got to be comfortable with changing plans for the sake of purpose, for the sake of integrity, for the sake of ethics, for the sake of right, for the sake of destiny. You got to be comfortable with changing plans. Ask yourself, when somebody has a problem, here is one. Here is one. Ask yourself this: when someone has a problem, do you start by offering advice or do you offer emotional support? Which is more important to you, resolving the problem or checking in with their heart? God Almighty. Which is more important? Showing how much I know, showing that I can resolve this, or is it important to check in with their heart? I got to be transparent and personal with this one, because for me, this is just Cutler, you all. For me, I need to create a safe space or a place of trust. Why, Cutler? Because if I do that, you will know that I'm operating with your best interest at heart. It's not so important for me to start offering advice at the moment and showing that I know how to solve this and I know how to fix that. That's not the most important thing for me. What's most important for me is emotional support and to check in with your heart. Because when I check in with your heart, you realize that I'm concerned about you. You realize that I care about you. You realize that I'm operating with your best interest at heart. Let's check in, you all. Let's learn to check in with people's hearts. Doesn't matter whether people call you mushy or call you softy, they should call you human. That's what they should be calling you. And they should be calling you to say thank you. So for me, the next question is, are you reluctant to show your emotions? If so, You might be too worried about how you're viewed. You might be too worried with showing your vulnerabilities. You might be too worried to the point that you don't check in with people's hearts. I don't know about you all. Well, yes, I do. But I have to say that I'm concerned about my character. My reputation may be up and down, and my popularity may go in and out and roundabout and up. It may peak and it may go to the valley, but I'm concerned more about my character. So then, I want to do something. I want to do something that we haven't done in a while. I want to go to this. I want to go back and fall back on what I call word guard. Word guard is speaking positivity over our lives and over the lives of everybody who is connected with us. And because we're talking about character, I want to use words that begin with C. So I want you to think about yourself. I want you to think about the words that you speak over your life. I want you to think about the words that you speak over the lives of people who are connected to you. And I want you to fill in this blank. I am, and fill in it with the word that starts with C, or they are, or the people in my life are. I am, I strive to be, and fill in the blank with the word that begins with C. This is what we call word guard, is speaking positivity over our lives and over the lives of people who are connected to us. We are concerned about character. And so my character shows. Are you all ready? This is how we're going to go out this evening. So my character shows that I am and the people in my life are caring, not just focused on me. They are considerate. I think about other people. They are courageous. I show up brave even when it's difficult to do the right thing. I'm courageous and they are courageous. It is okay. I like the word QT Cutler. You can use that. I don't mind paying compliments to the people who are in my life. I see the good and not the bad. I strive to be compassionate. Thank you, Linda. I strive to be able to identify and have a heart that is empathetic to people and what they're going through. I am conscious of other people's feelings. I am aware when people show up. I'm not oblivious to what they're going through, but I see them, I hear them, and I let them know that I am present in their lives. I'm conscious of what others are going through. I am charitable. I like to treat people. Thank you, Fabulous Me. I'm charitable, and people in my life are charitable. We treat others with love and loving kindness and benevolence. We do right by people. We help when we can. We show love when we can. Anything else? And any other words with C? What courteous? I know how to treat people with respect. I don't disrespect the humanity that I see in my brother or the humanity that I see in my sister, but I'm courteous. I am content with my character. I'm glad about who I am. I'm glad about who the Creator made me. I have no flaws with how I show up. I strive to show up better, but guess what? I'm content with who I am. Thank you, Auntie. I'm a caregiver, a giver of care for those who are wounded internally. Thank you. And externally, because sometimes people are wounded, not just necessarily externally, but they're wounded internally. Sometimes the souls of people are wounded. And am I giving care? Am I giving care from the space and the place that I want to receive care? Thank you, MV. Compassionate. Love people. I want to treat them right. I try to be cheerful. Thank you, Fabulous Me. It is about if I can brighten somebody's day, if I can offer some degree of happiness, if I can make somebody smile, if I can cause them to laugh, I try to be cheerful. And how about this one, you all? What about credible? I want to be believable. I want to be believable. I want my word to be bond. So if I say I'm going to do something, I want to do it. If I say I'm going to be somewhere, I want to be there. I love it, Linda. What about try to be Christ-like? I want to follow the model of loving my neighbor as myself. I want to follow the model of treating people like friends. I want to follow the model of doing good when I can. I want to follow the model of feeding the hungry, clothing the naked. When did you not? When did you not? Because many times clothing the naked means I can clothe them with the love that they are now naked of. They don't have love, and sometimes you can clothe people with your love. You can clothe them with your grace. You can clothe them with mercy. You can clothe them with caring, compassionate, and considerate. I'm concerned about how I treat people. Civilized. Try to get along with people. In a world where there's so much fighting going on, there's so much feuding, and there's so much war, I try to be civilized. Try to be cautious and careful with how I treat people. I want to thank you all so much. This is how we build character. We focus on these things. This is how we build character. I'm confident in who I am. I'm comfortable with me. I'm charged to do the right thing by creation. Courageous, I do right. When it's difficult sometimes to do right, I do right for right's sake. Thank you all for sharing this space. Wherever you've allowed me to share with you this evening, whether it's your living room, your bedroom, your front porch, wherever it is, I'm thankful. I don't take it for granted, but this gives me an opportunity to check in on my own character. Let's keep building community. Let's keep maintaining connectivity. You all do me a favor. Keep your heads up and keep your hopes up. You all stay safe and stay sane. Invite people. Tell them, come on back. We're here every Tuesday and Thursday. Tell them, come on. That Cutler is saying something. Tell them, come on. Let's talk to Cutler. Please know this, that from my, Tracy, I see it. The other C is I cook with love. Please know this, you all. Community, that is a good one. I see you all are still dropping the C words, and we invite those of you who are going to catch the replay, please feel free to just drop all the C words that you want, because it speaks to how we are assessing our character. Please know this, you all, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. From my heart to yours, there is and always will be so much love. Thank you all for all that you do for my heart. Good night, everybody. I'll see you next time.